The ether fuzz roll on forever. Roar. Close that. Hi, I know what you're thinking. This is weird, huh? But I can handle it. You know? You're my fave.
You know, sometimes horror movies get sequels that should have never fucking existed. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation. I'm looking at you. But sometimes movies don't even get the chance to suck because they never fucking come out. And that's what happened with All American Massacre, the Lost Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel. That was supposed to give us a deeper look at one of the craziest horror villains of all time, Chop Top. What the hell happened to this movie, and will we ever see it? Let's find out. Alright, so back in the year 2000, a dude named William Hooper, yeah, Tobe Hooper's fucking son, decided he wanted to make a Texas Chainsaw movie, focusing on everyone's favorite metalhead cannibal, Chop Top. The idea: the movie would take place 10 years after Texas Chainsaw 2, with Chop Top locked in a damn psychiatric hospital and recounting his family's greatest hits, aka a fresh batch of blood and guts. And here's the kicker: Bill Moseley actually came back to play Chop Top. My guy was ready to scratch that metal plate all over again.
What was it anyway? The Rambo 3 soundtrack?
So this wasn't some cheap-ass fan film, this was real-deal chainsaw lore, made by Hooper's own fucking son. And to make it even weirder, it was supposed to be a short film, only about 60 minutes long, designed to lead into a bigger sequel. They filmed the whole damn thing. There's leaked footage, there's trailers, there's even a full-on poster. So why the fuck can't we watch it?
How'd you like to be in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2? And I said, my comment to him, I believe, was, who is this really? Because, I was already pretty crestfallen for not getting the dead body part in the student film. So the last thing I needed was someone, torturing me further. So I wondered who it was. And he said, no, this is really Kit Carson. And a couple days later, this script arrived. And, I read it. And I was told to look at the part of Chop Top. I think maybe it was originally called Platehead in the first draft, but then I think there was some copyright problem. I think there was a Platehead character in Masters of the Universe or something. So anyway, so I said, so I read the thing, and I thought it was awesome. And Chop Top, or Platehead, was just an amazing character. I mean, full of mayhem, full of mischief, really funny, crazy, just kind of a hippie with a haircut, with a plate in his head in Vietnam, and just this psycho. And
so here's where shit gets messy. Apparently, the whole thing was supposed to be an experimental movie, meaning it had almost no budget. William Hooper basically funded the whole thing himself and planned to release it on DVD or streaming, back in the golden age of LimeWire and fucking Napster. But Hooper Jr. must have bitten off more than he could chew, cause at some point, the money ran out, and this thing just stopped. To make matters worse, there was some legal shits involving rights issues. Turns out, just cause your dad made Texas Chainsaw doesn't mean you own the franchise. Big studios didn't want to touch it, and Hooper couldn't afford to finish it himself. And just like that, All American Massacre was fucked. So here we are, 24 damn years later, and this thing is still locked away. Bill Moseley himself even said in interviews that he doesn't think it'll ever see the light of day. Okay, but let's be real, could this thing ever actually get released? Some horror fans think there's still a chance, especially with all the lost media shit getting rediscovered. Hell, if the Day the Clown Cried can still exist, there's a chance this thing is sitting on a hard drive somewhere. But let's be honest, if it was gonna drop, it probably would have happened years ago. And with William Hooper basically disappearing from the industry, it looks like this one's gonna stay buried. So what's the moral of the story? If you're gonna make a horror movie, don't fucking run out of money. Alright, so here's where shit gets even weirder. Some people claim this movie might actually be finished. Back in the early 2010s, rumors started popping up that a nearly complete version existed, just sitting on a hard drive somewhere. And here's the crazy part: William Hooper himself confirmed in an old interview that the film was about 80% done. So why the fuck didn't he just finish it? According to Bill Moseley, there were some technical issues, whatever the hell that means. But some fans think it was just a cover-up for the real problem. Nobody wanted to pay for it. Think about it, this was a low-budget side project, and by the time it was almost done, horror movies were changing. The Texas Chainsaw series was moving toward reboots, not weird-ass indie sequels about Chop Top. So even if the movie was completed, it's possible Hooper just said, fuck it, no one cares about Chop Top, and left it in the dust. But here's the million-dollar question. Do you think someone will ever leak it? With all the lost media being uncovered lately, it wouldn't be surprising if some horror nerd out there has a copy of this thing on a dusty-ass hard drive. And if that's the case, we might just wake up one day and see All-American Massacre dropped on YouTube like a cursed videotape. Or maybe, just maybe, it was buried for a reason. So yeah, that's the fucked up history of All-American Massacre. A Texas Chainsaw movie that could have been something insane, but instead just rotted away like one of Leatherface's victims. What do you think? Should this thing be released, or is it better off dead? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more lost horror movies, hit that fucking subscribe button, cause next time, we might be talking about Freddy's Nightmares or some other crazy horror shits.
Dog wheel hunt! Get that bitch, Leatherface! Get that bitch! Dog wheel hunt!